Attack on Titan, Season 4, Episode 17, Judgment. Was it good? Attack on Titan has finally returned, and we are Was It Good? And we are going to determine if this newest episode was any good. I'm Ravi, joined by Christian and Arjuna. Welcome to the Violent Podcast Show. Just kidding.
Might as well be.
I mean, this episode is pretty violent.
God, Attack on Titan.
Should we start with
So was a good staple.
Should we start with the most important thing? Was the intro any good?
No, the intro was shit.
The intro
The intro,
song.
not to this podcast, to Attack on Titan,
Yes.
season
Yeah.
4B
Yes.
specifically.
Yes.
Yeah, we on the pod like to marvel at every song that's played at the beginning of each half season. Each half season they change the song. So this would be, I assume, the 8th and final intro, and it is not a banger.
So
Bang, bang.
But here's the thing, though. Season 4, when that first intro came out, I personally was not a big fan.
I didn't like
it.
it.
Grew on
grows,
me.
It grows on
This
me.
one, I feel like will like the initial like gut reactions, like what? It just feels so kind of alien.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes sense. It's this hardcore screamo emo, English plus some Japanese plus some German, like
I'm honestly shocked.
everything.
I'm shocked you didn't love it.
It's so different from the first intro song from the beginning of season 4 that it's thrown me for a little.
It's
thrown me
the
a
calm
little bit,
before this now chaos that exists.
Clearly.
It's pretty straightforward. Attack on Titan right now.
Yeah, it's war.
Yeah, basically, it's just 3 sides, 4 sides, maybe.
I think
5
it's like
sides.
10
There's at
sides.
least 3, but each one of
Well,
those
and-
sides
and-
has a different side.
Then Armin thinks there's a side within a side.
That's what I'm saying. There's 3. I think there's 3, and then each one of those are splitting off and then joining back up with a different side.
I think they all want each other to
behind
die.
another side's back.
Do you think Eren Yeager got somehow a copy of Mission Impossible and was like,
Mission
"I'm gonna,
Impossible 2 specifically.
yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna be a
masks.
quadruple agent spy thing."
It's very hard to pinpoint exactly whose side he's on and what his motivation is, because they've kept that really in the dark this whole season. And and Armin, I think one way to see where he might be leaning is to look at his allies, his former allies and his current allies. Former allies, maybe still current allies, Armin seems to think that Eren didn't have a choice in the matter, was doing it to infiltrate the Jaegerists, and then eventually he's going to be on the side of humanity, I guess. I'm not sure. Very confusing.
What it's also kind of confusing though is, you see the Jaegerists, right? The Jaegerists only kind of came about because of the Christian's favorite anime character of all time,
Yelena.
Yelena. She basically truly believed in what Zeke was doing, right? And started so like she is really the starting point, I would say, of the Jaegerists, as opposed to like
Well, she
Eren.
represents the start, yeah.
Yeah, but she is more extreme than Eren is extreme, if that makes sense. Where she's the one that's been kind of fulfilling.
She's
and
more
pushing.
extreme than Zeke even.
Yeah. Which again, I get for her, like we saw in the first half of season 4, she lost her home to the Titans and then blamed Marley, right? And then saw a way to kind of avenge them. But now it just seems a little bit more extreme, where in order to, this is how I view her kind of like thought process. In order to ruin the Marleyans, they're going to
Destroy the world.
euthanize
Oh.
the Eldians.
Yep.
And then therefore the Marleyans are going to suffer?
Yes.
Question
Death.
mark?
Yeah.
Death is coming for everyone.
Like, it's very.
They
It's
must
very,
all die.
It's more than a little bit convoluted at
Yes,
this point. It's
yes.
not clear.
Yes.
Hopefully it gets clear. But
Because
it's not
correct me
clear.
if I'm wrong, like she is all for Zeke's, euthanize plan.
As Krishna
right?
infamously said on this pod, Yelena, she loves Zeke. She's like, yes, Zeke. I love Zeke.
Right, but if that's the case though, like
It's so weird.
is it she just loves him because he has this power and that's it? Or
I think it's like a means to an end, right? If you look at...
but again, but the
I
means
hate to
to
say
it
this,
doesn't
but if
make
you look at
sense.
terrorists,
Yes.
right?
Right.
Extremists,
Okay.
you normally rally around some type of point and some type of thing. and then you extremely go to that and follow it to a T, no matter how illogical it becomes, right?
So we're talking Trump supporters, right?
That's a different conversation.
Not really. It's extremists.
Yes,
Right?
well, yes, yes.
Oh man.
So basically, what I'm trying to say is a Trump supporter a Eucharist?
they might have.
And that's the end of the podcast.
They might have similar.
But again,
ideas.
I think I need to go back and rewatch more the early parts of
4A.
season 4 because, again, like as I'm talking this through, it doesn't feel like it makes a lot of sense. Where it's like, in order to make the Marlians suffer, we're going to like ruin the lives of the Eldians, and then everything's okay.
So I will say, we've talked about this anime. The manga is complete, and the anime follows the manga pretty much to a T. Now, the manga itself, specifically these last few arcs, were heavily criticized by a lot of longtime fans. A lot of people felt that, and we talked about it when we did the first half of season 4, they didn't like the time jump. They thought there were some inconsistencies, especially the whole, like...
Wait, are you saying people of this anime series or people of the manga?
Manga, specifically,
Okay.
right? Because we know the manga is complete. I know I haven't looked up spoilers. I don't know if you guys have.
Just that one YouTube video that came on and wasn't my fault.
It wasn't my fault.
But there are a lot of detractors because, kind of to your point, a lot of people feel like there are some holes. And maybe that gets answered. Maybe it's changed up for the anime. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's going to completely do exactly what the manga did. But we'll see.
Yeah, it feels to me like on a broad level that the story of Attack on Titan is building up into a very existential thing, and to get there, they're going in a very complicated roundabout way. There's certain animes I love. Certain animes and mangas, like the stories, they tend to go all the way up into like, what does it mean to be alive? What is existence? What is consciousness? Right? Full Metal Alchemist comes to mind.
Yes.
It starts off at this like very basic level. Here's a situation, and then they just go all the way.
Wait, Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Alchemist
Brotherhood, which is more closely tied to the manga.
Yes.
They go all the way up into like creation itself and consciousness, and Attack on Titan it seems to be going in a similar vein where they start off with the situation, they just keep pulling out, from the viewpoint lens until you get all the way into the biggest level possible, the grandest level. And it's been a little bit messy, I would say, in this last
It feels like
season.
like a Doctor Who, where Doctor Who, when it first started in like the 60s or whatever, it was like the idea of saving London, saving England, saving the planet, saving the solar system, the galaxy, the universe,
The multiverse,
time,
The Titans.
being the whole and then what they've done more recently is they've kind of just retconned a shit ton of Doctor Who history. I feel like Attack on Titan has maybe a similar problem where it was like, when the show first came out, right? I was one of the believers where it's like, it's just a gore fest show of humanoid creatures eating people and it's there for shock value. But then when you get into it, you realize, no, there's more in terms of what's behind this story that's more horrific. And like you said, you're getting further and further out. Now that we're kind of at that potentially max
the biggest
out,
level, potentially, yeah.
Now we're entering the spiritual weird part, right? Like especially in this episode where Zeke is revealed to still be alive, pops out of that weird Titan that he called, and is
And like sucked its life force. Like
butt
we've never
naked.
seen that, right?
Yeah, it's a new type of
I
power.
was very confused.
And then he said
But
that
he has a vision.
he said that he had a vision, or he was
Of
there
a little
past-
girl
building him with sand.
building him with sand.
I took that's Ymir. That's Ymir.
Ymir.
He's an Eldian, and the Eldians are all children of Ymir. So Ymir was rebuilding him. That's how I looked
So
at
he's
it.
a sandcastle.
He's basically a
or
sandman. A
or
sandman.
take it one step further, right? Maybe the outside lens is actually, this is like the Lego movie where they are all just little action figures and someone's
Oh
just
my god!
playing
Could you
with them.
imagine?
So people have theorized about this. So in the manga, now I haven't read the manga, so I'm going off of what other people have said. So forgive my inaccuracies if there are any. But in the manga, I think at the end of every issue, they have this little vignette of like high school, all these characters in present day high school. So like Like, and it's not really related at all to the story or anything.
So they have
it's just
a-
like Eren.
they have a
and
mini
Mikasa,
anime.
They're like, yeah, exactly, right. Yeah. But people have theorized that when you look at like Attack on Titan, like the actual story, right? There's a lot of instances where Eren can't remember where he is, how he got there. There's a bunch of lines, and I've just rewatched the first season. There's a bunch of lines in the first season from just random characters being like, "Please wake me up from this nightmare. This can't be real." So a lot of people have theorized, and obviously the manga's down now, so they would know for sure. But that the high school, modern day high school, isn't just a joke. It's there for a reason. Whether that means that it's a bunch of characters having a really bad dream from present day, or if it's vice versa or whatever. So just something to keep in mind.
Well, we did. I mean, season 3, they played with time. Obviously, when Eren's looking back into the memories, he finds the 2 previous Attack Titans, and that's when he's like, "Wait, we have to save Mikasa and Armin." And then he's like, "Wait, who the hell are they?"
Right.
So maybe that's part of the time jump. And then, if we remember, the first episode was like 3,000 years.
It's titled To You in 2,000
years, right? Yeah. So maybe there is some time stuff, and maybe he's just going to travel back in time and change everything.
Oh, it's all a loop.
It's 2 high schools, and the Titans are their mascots.
The Armored Titan and the Attack Titan.
Do you think they're just gonna do
Love it.
what that Netflix series did, the medieval alien magic one, the Del Toro?
Oh, where they reset everything, like 3 Below and
Yeah,
Troll Hunters.
yeah, where
everything.
he goes back in time and just resets
the
everything.
entire show.
Yep.
Maybe.
Could you imagine?
I mean, there's definitely not out of the realm of.
I would say that's
possibility
high
at
on
this
the
point.
possibility list.
Yeah.
I would say that's
It's not last.
yeah.
It's not the least expected thing that you would imagine.
would-
What
it
you
is
could
the
imagine.
least
It would be a
expected
way.
The least expected thing would be like it's they form a band at the end and go touring and create world peace that way.
The Titans.
This is a song that the band created.
The band, the Titans.
This has been
The
a long
Avengers.
introduction.
Is that a
to
band?
new
That's so
band.
cool.
To a
Are
rock
you in a
concert.
band?
Yeah.
So, one word impressions, guys, real quick. This is obviously just one episode in. This episode went by very, very
Oh my
fast.
god, so quick.
It ended before I thought it even started.
Every Attack on Titan episode, I'm like, already?
Yeah. Which I think is a sign of like really good pacing, but then also like your desire just to kind of get more information and want to know what happens next. But for more impressions, I'm going to kick it off, and I'm going to kick it off with emo.
Oh, you stole mine.
Yeah. Did I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, emo for 2 reasons: the intro and intro song,
Yeah.
the opening credit song, definitely very emo. The closing credit song felt even more emo than ever before. Everything in this episode just kind of points to everything is coming to an end and everything is sad. Because I also thought about it too. When I was watching this, I was like, God, I'm gonna have like that weird, TV season or TV series is done depression.
Yeah.
Where it's like once this is done, it's done, right? There is no more speculating. There is no more this, that, or that.
You don't get to live in the world
You don't
the same way.
Yeah, exactly. You can go back and rewatch it, but
I mean,
know,
unless they create a new manga, then there's a new anime.
right. But I personally like. I mean, I probably shouldn't say this until it's wrapped or if it finishes, but I do kind of hope it is done after this. I don't feel like, regardless of what they do here in terms of how they close it out, I don't think there would be a need necessarily to do some kind of spin-off or whatever. Like, I think
You don't want to see Titans back in the day?
no, I don't see the point.
What about Titans in space?
Just don't game like if you have to make a spin-off series, Game of Thrones, it's because you fucked it up so bad the first time. You're trying to like give reason and kind of fix your plot holes. And this show so far has
Or
done
money,
Yeah,
or
just-
money.
just straight
No,
up money.
no, I think. But this show so far has done a really good job of kind of keeping it pretty contained and keeping it like on track for the most part.
Nice.
So do you need a minute for your one word, or do you have a replacement one?
Yeah, Jen should go first.
Okay.
Mine is fool.
Fool.
I feel attacked.
I'm specifically referring to. Wow, I just forgot his name.
That's awkward.
Armin?
Yeah, well, I'm referring to Armin and stuff, but who's the main character's name?
Aaron.
Holy shit. I forgot his
Folks, this is what happens when you don't eat and then you do a podcast.
Well, it's fish sticks.
Our producer's asking if I watched the episode. I did watch the episode. But Aaron's friends, specifically Armin and Mikasa, are super foolish in this episode because they're like, oh, maybe he's still good. We want to help him. No! Idiots. He's a bad man.
What was that
not,
accent?
That's my Armin impression.
Spot on.
It was I don't know, it felt
place.
like United Kingdom-y, or I don't know, maybe a
I was just going for
magical
a big,
creature.
I was going for a big baby.
Big baby. Got
Yeah,
it.
because he's a baby, and I hate Armin.
I
and I
wouldn't-
wish they had killed him.
But hold on a second. They're like, so listen, you have to remember though, they're good friends to Aaron, right?
I don't care if you're a good friend. Did you see what he did a few episodes ago?
Sure, but they've also been through literal hell together. And it just
I
because
wouldn't
somebody
forgive
punches
that.
you in the face and makes, calls you a couple of like harsh words, compared to like surviving together and like going through these
but it was like it's
insane
literally
things.
a
I
day
don't know.
ago. I wouldn't be in the day being like, yeah, I think he's he's.
But they already proved that they're trying to justify why he was doing it, right? And we even speculated after that episode that he might have done that to protect them, like to keep them on the outside.
I don't remember if I said he did it or not, like if he was pretending or not. But I have completely changed my tune if so, and I think he's just a bad guy. And they
Emo
should
Aaron.
just kill him. And now I'm honestly in the fight between, him and the Armored Titan. I'm rooting for the Armored Titan. I'm rooting for everybody else other than Aaron. And maybe that's part of the show. Maybe that's the point of how they've done this, because they want you to root against Aaron.
They certainly have presented him to be sort of the antagonist to some of our other protagonists. So
Pretty much all
I
of
think
them.
that's exactly what.
Pretty
they
much
was.
every protagonist.
Yeah.
that we
I
had in
will
the
say,
show.
I'll say this though, like they are foolish I guess they are slightly foolish, right? If they truly believe that Aaron doesn't want to go through with the
The
rumbling.
no, it's not the rumbling.
The euthanization.
The euthanization plan.
I think he wants to go further. I think he wants to kill everyone.
No, I would say he wants to do the euthanization plan because what did Aaron say literally in the first episode once his mother is murdered by a Titan?
I'm gonna kill them all.
I'm going to kill them all.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. At the end of the day, while the euthanization plan is fucking terrible, it
If
will
you kill
ultimately...
all the Titans go.
the Titans are gone.
Right.
And he will ultimately do what he said. And that has been his motivation since
good
day
point.
one of like
I think that's a great point.
becoming, awoken by the evils
He's
of the
woke.
world.
The reason that's a great point too is just watching season 1. He's just so gung ho. He's like, I'm gonna kill them all, and like,
Yeah.
he's even inside the Titan a couple of times unconscious, and he's got like that weird Yelena-esque grin, like I'm gonna kill them all. He's not even like conscious, and he's like, that has been like his. No, Aaron has a lot of flaws, right? And you can't even say this is like a good trait of his, but it has been his most consistent trait. And it'd be weird if they just got rid of it in season 4. Oh yeah, no, he's gone. He got over that.
The only reason
gonna kill everyone.
I'll contradict myself, but it's not me doing it, it's more the show. The only other time potentially I think he would have switched to the idea of the rumbling is at the end of season 3 when they get to the beach and he says, "We're coming for you all," right? Because he's come to the realization of how Titans are made, et cetera, et cetera. So that particular Aaron might have been not okay with the euthanization plan, would have been okay with attacking where the Titans come from, which is this spinal fluid, etc. But we know he spent time in Marley. It is very possible that he realized, no, there is no way to kind of stop everything. We just have to...
Well, if you remember that,
Nuke ourselves.
you remember what I dubbed the greatest anime episode of all time, is season 4 episode between Aaron
Reiner.
and Reiner, with the conversation that they have. There's a lot of that philosophical discussion, right, of like the war and at least what he says in that conversation. It's like he's like, I used to hate everyone and be mad. He's like, I'm not mad anymore. We're just all tools, but you still have to die. He's like, I'm just not emotional about it anymore. I just have to kill you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Bye.
But I don't think he said sorry, because saying
No,
you're
but he-
sorry is being emotional.
Yeah, but that's essentially where he's at. Like that's why we've seen this like kind of, unemotional for the most part. Obviously, there's been a couple emotional outbursts, but he's like this very calculated Eren, who's also like a badass fighter, as we saw again in this episode, where he like, if it was 1-on-1 with him and Reiner, he would have killed Reiner in about 5 seconds.
You're right.
Well, I mean, he's also got like a billion Titan powers now. So.
Yeah, but he always had like a lot of great powers. But remember, in the first few seasons, he just really sucked.
Yes,
like he was really bad compared to where
he was a
now.
newbie.
He was a noob all the way.
Yeah.
Did you figure out your one-word impression?
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Is it
simple.
noob?
It's gonna be fight.
Wow.
Because this
Well thought out.
episode is clearly the beginning of the fight. And I would be shocked if this battle doesn't last at least 4 episodes. At least 4.
Oh, I think this is it. I think this is the show.
I would agree if it was, but it's 12 episodes left.
I think it's
and
15.
15 more episodes. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be the whole thing. I think this is going to be a long fight. That's going to set up the final fight.
But it's got to be relatively close to this fight, at least, right? In terms of time frame, like,
Maybe.
I don't think they do another time jump with. Only
No, it
4
wouldn't be. It wouldn't be.
episodes left.
It wouldn't be a time jump. It might have a few episodes because even in the previous seasons, they have a few episodes with a few months or whatever.
It's Ravi's
like,
favorite thing:
recoup-
character development.
Character development.
Ew.
Yeah.
No character development.
And I guess they have to have Levi like recover potentially somehow.
Yeah.
so. He
If
he
he's
is alive, right?
Oh,
He's
for
gotta be
sure.
alive.
He
He's
has to be.
definitely
The way Hanji like dove in the water with him and lied about
Yeah.
like why would she risk her life if he's actually dead?
Levi
to
can't
lie
take
to them.
Eren down if he's dead.
Well, exactly. Michael had a great point. You can't take him down if he's dead. It'd be weird
true.
if he was dead.
I like to. So remember at the end of the first part of season 4, we saw the Titan or whatever. I kind of wish he had turned into a Titan. I don't know
Levi?
why Levi. Yeah, because
Levi the Titan would be.
it would have been more depressing than him just dying. And when I say
Yeah.
turn into a Titan, I mean like a dumb Titan.
Damn.
Right? Just turns into a dumb Titan, and
yeah.
that's that.
wow.
That would really sting.
That would have been probably like the word, but that also felt like potentially a more realistic way of going, as opposed to.
I feel like Levi can't. If he couldn't die from a thunder spear blowing up in his face,
I don't think
like,
he can die. At
I
this
think
point.
he's gonna die. I think he's gonna be the only character alive by the
He
end of the
can't
show.
die.
I think it's just gonna be Levi and Hanji, and that's it. I think everyone else is destined to die.
Our one-word impression as a sentence is "fight emo fool." Fight emo fool.
Emo Foo Fight.
Fool. Fight emo.
Emo fool. Fight.
Obviously, Marley is dropping in troops, using machine guns, airships.
So that's also why I think this is like this feels like a final battle or final stage, right? Like this feels like all Marley has left. Like I guess what would be the rest of the final battle? Maybe it's
That's
like
true.
it's just prolonged of them. They like retreat somewhere on the island and then they fight again. I'm not sure, but it just feels like there isn't much left.
I think this is the end of Marley's military force.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the end, though, of the remaining Titans, right? So Marley has the armored Titan, the transport Titan,
Cart Titan.
Jaw Titan, and then that's it, right? Those 3 Titans.
Yes.
And then a bunch of Eldian warriors. I think what's going to end up happening is, because really there are, well, let's see, there's the Marlians, right? Including that Eldian offshoot. There's Yelena and Eren
Jaegerists.
and the Jaegerists. And then there's like our regular scout troop. So about 4 groups. I think what's going to
Paradise
happen
Island.
is going to end up being 2 groups. So Marley, military force-wise, that's just going to be knocked out completely. And then it's going to be scouts and the remaining Titans, the Eldian warriors, against the Jaegerists. And that's going to be, I think, after this battle and the rest of the season.
I think it's be everyone versus Eren.
I don't think his brother's going to go against him. Because remember, Arjuna, family.
Family.
Yeah.
Family.
Or maybe.
What if Eren's using Zeke?
Yeah. You would assume that they're trying to play each other. Like
true.
there's no way that
There's 2 sides within their side, and
Yeah.
then there's another
Clearly.
third
But,
side.
but
I
you
think- I
remember,
think
though,
so, yeah.
because Eren has the founding Titan power, at the end of the day, he gets to decide what to do.
True.
It's not Zeke. It is Eren that gets the ultimate choice.
Could we find out that maybe Marley falls in the next episode and we get introduced to a previously unknown force or faction?
If that happened,
that the
I
rest
would
of
quit
the
the show.
season is in, and they're
No,
behind it all.
That doesn't
The
make sense
only-
because Marley has made themselves the kind of the main military power of the world.
The only like outside force that could come in is the Ymir, right? Is in my opinion.
Ymir the god?
maker.
Or
Yeah,
the,
Ymir the god, the maker, the
Lego player.
Maybe she is like influencing
mother.
the Titan line or something, and she comes through like in the rumbling or like when they combine their powers or whatever. Like there's a massive explosion and both Zeke and Eren are dead, and then there's Ymir and she's killing everyone, and they all have to unite to kill her.
Do we think?
I don't know.
Do
That's
we,
like the
real
only
quick,
thing
just
I
kind
can
of like
see.
running down like speculation lane here. Do we actually think Ymir is a real thing? 'Cause Here,
Concept.
hear me out real quick. Everything that we have seen for the most part in terms of like the physical world is to, kind of giving into like a little bit of like, oh, that's how this world works in terms of physics.
Totally.
For the most part, it kind of makes sense. It works from a science level, if you will, right? They kind of understand the physical attributes and how titans and spinal fluids and these things work. There isn't necessarily tons of magical things out there. Ymir, though, for the most part, I might be wrong, maybe it is explained somewhere, but Ymir, for the most part, is this just concept, this idea
It's
as
like a mythology.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's a god type thing. But is there an actual Ymir, I'm starting to wonder, or if it's just a story that they've been telling each other forever for whatever reason.
Yeah, well, don't know. We'll have to see.
I think she's as real as like our concept of God is, right?
Yeah,
In
that's
terms
what
of,
I'm
like,
getting
yeah,
at.
you can't prove it.
It's pure concept.
But you would like it's the way to explain like why are all of these things here and everything. But maybe that's a good point. Maybe there is no Ymir. Maybe it's all, a game that the little children are playing.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
that's what we pull out on.
and we've talked about this, I think, every season that we've covered is that the show is just always revealing more and more information, and you never really know what's real and what's not. And so that's just another element. But like I said, I keep coming back to that whole vision thing. I think the scene of Zeke getting mended by this little girl
In a
is
sand
key,
pit.
and he's like,
Yeah.
"That's the paths." Question, because I don't remember: has the paths been referred to before?
It's been referred to, I think, where like Eren has looked up in the sky and seen not Eren, the original Attack Titan
Yeah,
before Eren's father.
And I
the
think that,
Sparrow guy.
yeah,
yeah,
he
and-
kind of like references this path thing.
yeah, I think he explained that when like Eren was looking back on those memories and stuff. Like that's where I think we got some of that explanation with Ymir and the pathway and how all of these titans are linked and there's this history and whatnot. That makes the most sense to me. But I don't know.
Yeah. So maybe it's like the paths are like this strand of consciousness from Titan to Titan or something.
Right. It feels like it's going to be a big part of the show though. Like
The spiritual.
the spiritual thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope so.
Uh,
You've been building to it, so let's
But again,
go all the way.
But again, that's where I think though, and this is kind of gets bold predictions really, is like if the show is potentially set up where it's like a bunch of high school students are telling each other this whacked out story, right?
drug trip.
By the storytellers kind of throwing so much info and information into this whole Ymir idea, right? It kind of throws you off to then point towards this kind of big twist or this big reveal or whatever. But again, it does tie into what the show has been doing since season 1, where it's you started behind the walls and you're going out and revealing more and more. I do think there is one last big twist, and I think I don't know, I kind of agree with the idea that there is like
They're actually-
somebody else is pulling the strings here.
They're actually on Titan, the moon of Saturn. That's what the big twist is. They're not even on. Because I always thought that the title was weird, right? Attack on Titan. So, I always thought that was like an interesting phrase. I'm like, attack on Titan. I'm like, what if Titan is like the place? Which,
Titan, the moon. So this is actually the moon orbiting Saturn.
yeah.
that's what Krishna just said.
Yeah. I wasn't listening.
Oh,
Wow.
but anyways,
that's literally what he just said.
That's crazy. I mean,
Yeah. Looks like someone else needed some fish sticks.
wait, if that's the case, then wait, do you think then potentially the big reveal is that this is future us,
Future us, past us,
sideways us?
No, we'll
knows?
just learn that like everyone was like all the people that are on this island were just experiments of organic like mechs, and then they were put onto this moon. Like how Australia was used by England as like a prison. That's what they use Titan the Moon as.
I mean, the only thing is, does
And
Titan...
Ymir was like, maybe Ymir was like the scientist
They had scientists
that like they knew
Yeah.
or something, and then they'll just appear. Then this will be a Gundam show.
I mean, it is sort of a Gundam show. But the only thing
The
is, does,
Gundams will show
does
up.
Titan the Moon have its own moon? Because the moon appears in a few episodes.
Well,
Maybe
I mean,
Saturn's the moon.
Saturn has a bunch of other moons.
Yeah, right. But the planet itself, I mean, this moon, if it is a moon,
Yeah.
right, it has something else orbiting it.
They've
That-
never
that
ever
plays
said
in.
that it's the moon.
Oh, well, there's so in
there's an
season 2,
sure, but there's an object up there.
right? That
but-
is moon shaped and is reflecting the sun at nighttime.
But again, Saturn has other moons. I don't know if they orbit each other, but
I
they
don't think
probably
they do.
see each other in the night sky. Like I don't know how. I don't know the
You need to know the physics of
the
the
physics
moons
and
of
the
Saturn.
astrology and all that.
It's easy,
fun
guys.
stuff.
They put a dome over
Yes.
Titan, and they're projecting whatever they want. On
Going back to the Gundam
screens.
thing, you know, what would be even funnier is if the big reveal at the end is you remember Cartoon Network and Toonami used to premiere the little Gundam fighter show where there were like all these like child-sized Gundams running
Yeah.
around. So basically, the big reveal is it's a Gundam high school, and the Gundams are playing with humanoid figures. And this is their variation on like
human mechs.
human mechs and
Mechs.
everything.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's basically a mecha show.
But let's
just
hear.
by-
Let's
by-
get into like bold, ridiculous, over-the-top predictions
Well, I think
because.
Christian just gave his.
So yours is that this is actually on the
Sure.
the moon.
It's on
Unless you
Titan,
have a different
the moon of Saturn. If I come up with one, I'll say it.
All right, the moon of Titan.
Why
Arjun,
not?
do you have one?
Why not?
I think for the rest of the season, I believe the show will not devolve, but will boil down to Eren versus everybody else that's alive at the end of this current battle. So I think everybody will kind of unite because Eren will turn out to just be an agent of chaos and just be like, I want to kill everyone, but I mean everyone. Like, I feel like he's come to the realization that the only way for this is to end is for nothing to exist. Like, I think he's gone to that
So
level.
he's basically Night Owl in the Crisis on 2 Earth comic book series from DC Comics.
Yeah, sure.
Nice.
He is nice.
So basically, Night Owl is a variant of Batman in this other universe where the Justice League is bad,
Right.
and he decides to create an atomic weapon that could destroy all reality. Because then, if nothing
remember
exists, there's nothing good. There's nothing bad.
No one can hurt anyone.
Sounds peaceful.
sounds
And I
quiet.
think that's what it'll come down to. I think that's what the show is going. Like, if this battle ends, that's there'll be like half of our characters alive. We'll get all the best ones. All the shit characters will be dead, and then we could do a best of versus Eren.
Wow.
They'll probably keep the shit ones alive. Like, I would choose Armin to be dead, but I'm sure he's gonna live. Unfortunately.
I mean, he's a colossal titan.
Yeah, but make someone else the Colossal Titan. He's the worst. Armin is the worst.
He's not that bad.
I mean, that was pretty badass in the beginning of season 4 where he shows up and just becomes a colossal
like
titan.
personality-wise, you're right. He is annoying, but
He's the worst.
What he actually he's actually had so many like tactical.
He's a tactical genius.
He's a genius. He's
Yeah.
like they wouldn't be where they are without him.
Yeah, but you know what would make this show better? If he had died when he was supposed to.
I remember when that episode came out, you were so happy
Oh,
when it
died.
looked like he died.
Yeah.
I was.
But Yuna hates Armin
I do.
because you see so much of him in yourself.
You should cosplay as him.
No.
I'm gonna
have
buy
the
you a
hair for
blonde. I'm gonna buy you a
Yeah.
blonde wig.
Yeah.
And I should talk like
And
this.
Abby, you can be Mikasa,
Definitely, I have a red scarf.
and I'll be Captain Pixies, the bald one, but the captain of the
Isn't he,
garrison.
well, as he said in this episode, he's General Pixies now.
General Pixies.
Yeah, he's like, it's General now. I do love anime. Always has some type of humor to it. Like there always has to be.
I thought you were gonna be like anime always has like a drunk character. And
That's true as well.
Pixie's the drunk
But
character.
I do even though Attack on Titan is very serious, they do always find a little bit to just put some comedy in. And Pixies being the comic relief in this episode was fun. Where he's just like, it's General now, and they're like. Something about like they made their best gunner the general or something. Which was great.
I think my bold prediction is not going to actually be about the show. It's actually going to be a sad one. I think, unfortunately, based on the internet and how the world works, this show will be spoiled for one of us indirectly and accidentally.
You've read the end, haven't you?
No,
already?
as of right now, like,
Oh, you're,
Scouts Honor.
Are you pure?
I'm
Are you
pure.
Scouts
I
Honor?
Scouts Honor.
Which scouts?
The corrupt ones that are now Jaegerists, obviously.
Man.
But I think, unfortunately, it's too difficult. Like, if it is 15 episodes, that's 15 weeks.
Well, I assume it's 15 because the first half was 16 episodes, so I
Yeah.
assumed it's another 16 for this half.
I thought I read 12, but either way, we're talking like 10 plus weeks.
Yeah.
You know, over 2 months of a show that just came back. It came back obviously on Football Sunday, so in America it was not trending at the time, but it is going to. It has been starting to pick up pace. There is going to be those assholes on TikTok and Twitter that will drop something just to ruin
LaShawn McCoy.
it, which sucks. So that's my bold, sad prediction.
Unless we just have the great tie every Sunday to hold it over.
Oh man.
the Great Tide.
The great tie?
Oh,
The NFL?
Yeah, that's not.
But
gonna
that was
happen.
a tie.
The great almost tie.
There you go.
That's basically what's going to happen in Attack on Titan. Everyone's going to verse Aaron. It's like a tie, and then someone calls a timeout, and Aaron's like, "Fuck you."
And then
the Pittsburgh,
unleashes the rumbling.
Yep,
and
blows
then
up
the
the world.
Pittsburgh Steelers win the Super Bowl. What?
If that happens now, dear God.
Oh man, I think I
Historians would obviously we're talking football, so we're way off Attack on Titan here, but that would be pretty crazy. I think that's everything, guys. That was a nice, concise
Yeah.
wrap up
Part
of the
45.
whole thing. Yeah. Oh wait, this pod is called "Was It Good?" We got to ask the question. All
Wow.
right, everybody, all at once, ask somebody. No, I'm kidding. Don't do this.
Oh, that'd be chaotic.
Arjuna, was Attack on Titan season 4, episode 17, Judgment good?
Yeah, it actually was really good. I thought some of the action in this episode was really, really. We didn't get to talk about it, but it was really good. Attack on Titan is like our classic animes like Dragon Ball Z, where sometimes it takes like 10 episodes to finally get to like one really good fight, and then the fight's really short, and you're like, fuck. This one like came guns blazing like with the fight,
Literally.
and I was like, holy shit, this is incredible. I think that's what also made the episode go even quicker.
Yeah.
And I hope the battle just continues for 15 more episodes where it's just fight.
You know, there's a part where Aaron says that.
Yeah, where he's yelling in the prison and he's just yelling fight. Maybe he's yelling at himself.
He's been yelling it though from the beginning. He's been like Mikasa when he saved Mikasa when they were kids. He's like, "You're gonna fight."
Krishna,
Yeah. Yes.
was Attack on Titan season 4, episode 16. Just kidding. Episode 17. Good.
Yeah, it was great. Awesome action. Every battle that we've seen in Attack on Titan, there's always they do a great job of the tactical element, and this was no different. So yeah, I mean, a short episode. I wish there was more to it, but you take what you can get at this point. Learman is our producer, is basically composing music on the keyboard over there. Dun, 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 dun. Ravi, was this episode, episode 17 of season 4,
It's actually, so it's,
chapter 76.
Thank you.
Of Attack on Titan, good to you, and for you, and with you.
after much consideration and reviewing all the facts, I'm going to take my talents and say yes, it was good.
Wow.
It was very good.
Yeah, shit is great.
Can we, real quick, before we actually get out of here, they are called chapters, right? Chapter 1, 2, 3,
I believe
4.
so. Yeah,
Why do you think
Sure.
they're called chapters?
Because it's a book.
it's based
of
on the
boba.
manga.
Oh
It's based,
my
it's
God.
based on the manga.
Oh,
I think-
so
I think
it's
a lot of
tying
anime-
that to
yeah,
that.
They're just
Oh,
like,
okay.
oh, this is that chapter.
Yeah, this is one of the most accurate anime adaptions
of all time.
like that I've ever seen.
Like even the commercial, when they go to a commercial break, they put up like a little
little
FYI
infographic. Yeah.
infographic, and
Those
those are
things
in
are
the
actually
mangas.
super helpful.
Yeah.
They do that for a lot of anime stuff. They do that for also
Yeah.
for Full Metal.
Full Metal,
Full
yeah.
Metal. They also did that for My Hero Academia.
You still watch that?
I haven't watched the new season.
I need to
yet.
catch
It's
up
the
on
whole
Oh, it's
new
really
season
good.
is out.
Good season.
Yeah,
You don't watch
it.
the show.
I know, but you believe it's.
Are we
still
doing
good.
One Punch Man? No, just me.
Wait, is there a third season of that show coming out?
I have no idea. I've not heard anything. Oh, good.
I thought
I
there
would
was
assume there
I
would
thought
be,
a movie
but-
was coming out for it.
A movie?
Or
What
something.
about Two Punch Man?
No.
I feel like
What a
One Punch
weakling.
Man is interesting for like a short series, but at some point he's just overpowered.
Well,
Until people from Saturn come.
there you go. Until the Titans come.
The Titans.
But then he's no longer the One Punch Man.
I love the.
He's the One Punch
not
man.
Wow. I love the YouTube videos of the hypotheticals of him versus Goku. There's so many of these videos. One Punch Man. Who wins in a fight? One Punch Man or Goku? You know, and on all of the Super Saiyan and the Ultra Instinct and the Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku versus One Punch Man. Those are fun. The fan made like battles.
Who would you say would win?
Goku.
What?
Yeah.
Goku is the
Goku.
strongest fighter ever in everything.
I mean, One
His
Punch
name
Man
is One Punch Man.
Yeah, but he's only been tested against a certain level of enemy, and Goku far surpasses anything he's faced.
How do we know?
So far.
How can we compare
so
them?
far.
So
I wanna
One
see them
Punch Man
fight.
is not up to 9,000 or over.
He is at 9,000, I would say, but he is not at 9 billion or wherever they are.
God say
Yeah,
it.
They should make
freaking
each
god
season
level.
like they should add another number, right? Because One Punch Man is season 1, and then season 2 should be called Two Punch Man, because then it's harder for him. It takes 2 punches for him to win. And then season 3 is Three Punch Man.
Three Punch Man?
And it takes
Yeah.
3 punches because
I
you
like
know he's
that.
got
The
a little
opposite.
weaker.
The opposite. He's getting weaker.
Yeah, yeah,
as the
yeah.
show
You're
goes on.
taking the scale down instead of putting the
So
scale
like the
up.
Benjamin Button thing, but with
Yeah,
power.
kind of.
And then the last season, it's like 17 Punch Man, and it's just to like beat up a little kid who stole his money, and he can't, and he dies, and that's how the show ends.
And with that, thank you for joining us here on Was It Good. As always, our pod can be found live on YouTube at .com/wasitgood every Friday. Be sure to check out the show. We are on TikTok and Instagram at Was It Good Pod, on Twitter at Was It Good, and our website wasitgood.info has really cool and interesting blogs, so definitely check that out. Our next pod is going to be this Friday, and surprise, surprise, it's going to be on Book of Boba Fett.
What?
Episode 3. Hopefully, we see a big surprise because Tamora Morrison has been doing the rounds and saying there's a big surprise coming.
And he's like a penta.
Is it Grogu?
No.
Is it Goku?
Juan
Is it One Punch Man?
No. But we can cut here now.
Bye bye.